The world of boxing has evolved to an almost recognizable state, and in today's video, we're going to be diving into the latest news regarding Chris Avila, his battle with an influencer, and his goals for the future in terms of his boxing career. Moreover, we're going to be diving deep into Nate Diaz's fight promotion company and what that can mean for the future of boxing. Stick around because you won't want to miss a second of this video. So, who is Chris Avila fighting next? Chris Avila will be participating in a card that I never thought I would ever have to say out loud, and yet here we are. Avila will be facing off against Dr. Mike, a popular YouTuber who also happens to have a side hustle as a practicing doctor. Well, now he can add boxer to his absurd-looking resume, as he will be facing off against Bellator combatant Chris Avila in an insane-sounding card. The main event on the card is popular yet awfully annoying influencer Jake Paul vs. Anderson Silva, in yet another weird turn for the sport of boxing. Boxing has taken a huge jump in popularity as influencers and celebrities alike have taken any public issues they have with another person into the ring in a paid event. While it is certainly entertaining for fans to watch their favorite influencers or celebrities go toe-to-toe against another influencer or celebrity, but now things are getting a little crazy. Sure, Jake Paul wants to think that he's a boxer, but we all know that just isn't true. His fights are too suspicious to be seen as legitimate, and to be quite frank, I don't think that anybody wants to see this guy become a pro boxer. He is just a blight on society that I think that regardless of his efforts to be seen as a pro athlete, I think that there's simply no hope for him to ever be seen as anything more than a wannabe. However, his drive and want to be a fighter has generated undercard fights for his fights that people want to be on, which is of course what spawned the insane fight that will take place between Dr. Mike and Chris Avila. At least Jake Paul is trained in boxing, but what does Dr. Mike know about combat sports? This is going to be a quick fight that results in Dr. Mike having to be taken to a hospital. Or will Mike be able to put up a fight? Does this YouTuber/doctor know how to fight? For those of you who don't know, Dr. Mike has actually been in the ring before and actually has a respectable record of 1-0. I know that doesn't mean much because he has only fought once, but he does have a perfect record that I'm sure he doesn't want to lose. However, he did fight iDubbbz, a fellow YouTuber, so can we say that his competition was properly up to snuff when compared to a legitimate fighter? I would say not. However, I would say that the majority of YouTubers and influencers that choose to get in the ring fight an opponent that they have no business fighting, but they do it anyway, for the money and the views. I would argue that Dr. Mike has a false sense of confidence that was instilled in him from his single win against an untrained fighter, and it is ultimately going to be his downfall when he steps into the ring against a trained fighter. Of course, Avila is not a boxer per se, but he is much more of a boxer than Dr. Mike has been or probably ever will be. However, Mike seems to think that he's gonna win this fight, and he said so in an interview he had recently in which he said, "As a practicing physician, I've taken an oath to do no harm, but when those exam gloves come off and the boxing gloves slide on, all bets are off," Dr. Mike said in a statement. "With one win under my belt, I'm hungry to add more, and this pro fight with Chris Avila could be just what the doctor ordered. This pro fight could also be the thing that sends Avila to the emergency room, as he has literally no experience when fighting a legit combatant, but has the confidence of somebody who has a pro record of 500-0. I could go over the stats, the height, the reach, the weight, blah blah blah. All of these things will not matter in this fight. I pretty much guarantee that Avila will decimate Dr. Mike and most likely make him regret his decision to go into pro boxing. If Dr. Mike is still a boxer after this event, I will be surprised. Also, why does he want to be a boxer? The guy has 10 million YouTube subscribers and is a legitimate practicing doctor. Does he not have enough on his plate? Avila, on the other hand, is ready to add more to his plate, as he is fully ready to take on another fight following his brief stint fighting YouTubers and influencers. However, he is not taking this matchup lightly at all. He recognizes that this is still a fight, and that if he looks past Dr. Mike and towards his next fight, he may risk looking like a fool. I take my stuff very seriously. I'm taking this fight and I'm going to get it done with, and I want to line myself up with a real fight after this and get back to fighting high competition. I'm not overlooking this guy at all. I'm taking him seriously. Who will Avila be fighting next? After Avila fights Dr. Mike, he will finally be ready to take on a real opponent. Or at least that's the plan as of right now. Of course, there is a slight chance that Avila gets defeated by Dr. Mike, which would likely leave his plans in limbo, but if things go the way we all think they will, we can expect Avila to be signing on with Nate Diaz's fight promotion company, Real Fight Inc. This will be the first pro MMA match in a little while for Avila, but he's already confident in who he wants his opponent to be despite not having fought professionally in a long time. Moreover, Avila has a record of 8-9, which does not exactly inspire confidence, especially when he confidently says that he wants to take on Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. Chavez Jr. is a former boxing champion and would be one heck of a challenge for Avila. However, according to Avila, this fight has been in the works for quite some time, and Avila cannot wait. I plan on getting in the ring with a vet, someone like Julio Cesar Chavez Jr., Avila told MMA Fighting on the call. Someone I was in talks with fighting a while back, I would like to get in there with him under the Real Fight banner. My team is the Nate Diaz Army. Chavez Jr. has a sterling record in boxing, standing at 53-6-1, which would undoubtedly make it quite a rough fight for Avila, if history has anything to say about it. However, what might be a bigger story than this potential bout is the banner that Avila will be fighting under, which of course is Nate Diaz's Real Fight Inc. promotion company. What is the Real Fight Inc. banner all about? Nate Diaz is a pretty recognizable name amongst the MMA community, and rightfully so. He recently was in the octagon at the UFC 279 when he faced off against Khamzat Chimaev, but now he plans on carving a different path for the remainder of his career. Diaz applied for a promoter's license prior to his most recent fight, which was under his last contract with the UFC. Now, after a lengthy battle with free agency, he plans on taking things into his own hands and operating his own banner. The promotion company is called Real Fight Inc., and it will focus on up-and-coming fighters and household names as long as they fit the mold of the company. The mold is actually quite simple to fit in, as there are only 3 things that the fighters have to think about: being a real ninja, real fighter, real shit. Seems a tad vague, but to me, it seems clear. This is going to be a promotion company that centers on violence and amazing athleticism. And as silly as that may sound, it is what casual fans crave when they watch a fight. Most people who aren't diehard fans of the UFC or MMA in general just want to see somebody punch somebody or kick somebody in a way in which they couldn't. People don't quite appreciate the art of grappling or the art of defensive fighting unless they are a diehard fan of the sport. But that is just the thing. In order to grow the sport, the combat world needs to find a way to appeal to casuals. And this company, with the tagline of real ninjas, real fighters, real shit, is exactly what casual fans are looking for when they want to think about getting into watching combat sport. If this company can provide huge knockouts, big kicks, and wicked athleticism, then this company will do just fine. That's all we have for you guys today on the channel. Thank you all so much for tuning in. We hope you enjoyed the content, and we will see you all in the next video.